Have you ever heard of the Haskap berry? This berry is native to northern habitats like Canada and Siberia. They kind of look like elongated blueberries, and they kind of taste like one too. It's Haskap season here in Alberta, and I have about a pound of freshly picked Haskap berries that my parents got a couple of days ago at a local U-Pick farm. The issue is these go bad really fast. It's only been a day and a half since my parents picked them fresh off the bushes, but you can see they're already starting to go really soft and super ripe. So what to do with all these berries? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. Jam. I think Haskap berries are like the perfect berry to make into jam. They have a great unique flavor, but they're not super sweet on their own, so they're not as good eating as, say, blueberries. But once you add some sugar, mash it down into a jam, it'll keep for the entire summer. And you'll be able to enjoy the flavors of Haskap all year long. So let's get started. First, grab a Dutch oven or another stock pot. Use something non-reactive. Add your berries. When I make jams, I usually use the ratio of 1 to 2 by weight of sugar and fruit. So in this instance, I'm using about a pound of Haskap berries, so that means I'll be using half a pound, which is just over 1 cup of white sugar. You can add more if you like a sweeter jam. Turn on the heat to medium. And let this heat up and slowly stir as the sugar melts. While you're stirring, mash the berries with the back of the spoon to release the juices and help them break down faster. Here's what it looks like after 5 minutes. At 15 minutes, the jam is now bubbling vigorously. At 30 minutes, our jam has gotten even darker. If we test it with a thermometer, it has finally reached 212 degrees. I'm gonna turn off the stove and let this cool down a bit. The thing with jam is you need to be patient and keep stirring and letting the water evaporate until the jam reaches the gelling temperature. And that's gonna be 220 degrees Fahrenheit if you're at sea level. If you're higher than sea level, take off 2 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 feet. So I'm at 3,500 feet above sea level, which means I get to take off 7 degrees. That means I should technically wait until the jam hits 213 degrees Fahrenheit, but I usually stop it at 212 and I never had any issues with that. Now that your jam is cooled down very slightly, it's time to add some kind of acid. Now you can use the juice of half a lemon, or you can also use bottled lemon juice or even citric acid. If you're using lemon juice, you should add 2 tablespoons of juice per every 1 pound of fruit. If you're using citric acid, add half a teaspoon for every pound of fruit. You may have noticed this recipe doesn't have any added pectin. That's because Haskap berries, like blueberries, are very high in natural pectin already, so you don't need to boost it with any extra pectin powder. But that's why it's very important to add some kind of acid, because the acid helps the pectin set and turn into that nice gel texture that we want in a jam. Once the jam is no longer bubbling, it's ready to put into jars. Now let your jam fully cool before you use it, because it'll need to cool and set fully to firm up. Now I made this pretty late last night, so it's the next day, and our jam is ready to go. Let's give it a taste. That's so good. It still has quite a bit of tartness from the berries themselves, but with the added sugar, it makes it really refreshing. And there you have it, homemade Haskap berry jam.